Good morning, Rotarians. Thank you for joining us. This club meeting is called to order. Very shortly, I'll be sharing my screen and leading us through another fun presentation to direct the conversation. Periodically, I'll bring the screen down so that we can see each other's beautiful and friendly faces and have more dialogue. Family and friends are always welcome to attend our club meetings, so don't hesitate to invite someone, like maybe your acupuncturist. Feel free to speak out as you would in an in-person meeting, but if you are not using your microphone, be sure to put yourself on mute, or maybe I will do it at the cost of a club fine. Maybe, just maybe. Welcome everybody to the Fortuna Sunrise Rotary Club meeting for December 9th, 2020, volume 23 of my presidential year. We have an amazing Rotary Club, and I am so thankful to be a part of it. This time, I'll bring the screen down and check to see if we have some guests. Looks like we have our speaker and also guest today, Captain Shawn Morris. Everybody.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure for me to be here.
Oh, yeah, it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'll do a quick scan. I think the rest of us are just the awesome club members that we are. Killer. Let's keep this show moving here. All right. So at this time, we typically be doing a flag salute, but since the meeting's virtual and some of us might not be wearing pants, why not a little bit of American history lesson? Did you know on this day, in 1993, a historic mission to repair the Hubble telescope ended and is considered a complete success with the Hubble back in action. The repair involved a number of spacewalks and the longest made by Story Musgrave and Jeff Hoffman, spending 7 hours and 21 minutes on their final task to unravel 40 feet of solar panels which power Hubble. That was today.
That was a very Hubblean experience.
It was. What's all the hubbub about? Oh, goodness. It's just...
going downhill fast.
Going down. It started with the cats, you guys.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm glad that was before the meeting started here. Let's keep the show going, shall we? The inspirational message this morning is brought to us by our very own immediate past president, Bob Judevine.
Immediately. Hey, good morning, everybody. So first, in the interest of full transparency, I gotta maybe put $5 towards polio and confess that I promised Simon a few weeks ago I'd do the inspirational message, and then I missed my meeting to do the inspirational message. So maybe 5 for that, and another 5 because then last week I thought I was going to do the inspirational message, and but I forgot about it. So I was desperately trying to think of an inspirational message when I should have been listening to the meeting. So $10 total, Ross, for polio.
Sounds like a banker.
And so the thing that I thought, my dad was a recovered alcoholic, and one of the things that was important to him that I think is an AA thing, or well, it maybe is repeated by AA, is the Serenity Prayer. And this year in particular, as I've occasionally struggled to manage not being able to control quite the number of things that I used to be able to, I repeat this to myself, and it's just, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bob. All right. How about we call on Dawn Winterhome this morning to do the 4-way test. Dawn.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh, wait. Okay. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Hey, outstanding.
Hey.
Dawn, not only do you have a great voice, but you've got a face for radio. I tell you, that was amazing.
Face for radio, right on.
Thank you so much for doing the 4-way test this morning. Let's see here. Announcements this morning are pretty brief, but just reiterating and reminding everybody there's a Christmas decoration contest going on to spread holiday cheer in the Fortuna area. It's open to residences as well as businesses, and you all can participate if you would like to. It's called the 2020 Holiday Dazzle Decorating Contest. You can win bragging rights as well as cash money. I think the prizes are $1,750 and $500 for first, second, and third place. So there's some substantial prizes there. There's a submission form as well as a map of all the locations. It'll be on fortunachamber.com/dazzle. And after, I believe, the 14th, the competition actually starts where people can start voting on their favorite houses and decorations and stuff. So we should almost start like a little, I don't know, maybe a little side bet on who, if any Rotarians are going to join this competition and if any are going to win. Maybe like a football pool or something like that. I don't know. More to come on that. More to come on that. But yes, check that out. It should be a fun time to do something fun for the holidays. Hey, and See's Candy. Although we're not doing See's in-person See's Candy this year, one thing that we could all agree on is that we wanted to continue our giving for the See's Community Fund. This is a fund that was created to assist local people with their travel expenses while they were battling cancer. Now, this fund normally gets 15% of our sales during the annual holiday fundraiser. So how can we continue keep giving back, you ask? Or maybe you know. We have the solution. Yes, during the entire month of December, we will call on our club members to make donations to this fund, a virtual pass the hat. But in this case, it'll be raise your hand. And each meeting, you can make a contribution to the See's Candy Fund by raising your hand or private messaging during this moment of giving. But it gets better. Yes, it does. For each dollar you give to the See's Candy Fund, our Fortuna Sunrise Rotary Club will match your donation. So making that $2, $4, and making that $100, 200 big ones. So get ready for the spirit of giving during the month of December. I'm going to bring down this screen share so I can see everybody's beautiful faces. Ross, get ready. Have your pen in hand. I've got Dr. George Judelis raising up a piece of paper. He's getting ready. I like everybody's enthusiasm. Okay, let me lay out how this is going to work. It'll be very similar to last week. Last week we raised $750 just in our club members. And yes, sir.
I think George actually has something to say.
Oh.
Yeah, I do have. There are Rotarians that were going to give a willingness of support See's Sunday, and the donation $5.25 and $100, and that then will give you the ability to get the candy, and then you have to write your name, phone number, and address. Give the Sandra, and then give it to me, and then send it in to go to the Rotary and bring it back. So if they can send that into the photograph in there and let us know. That's Sylvia at 834-4294, and then we'll get this thing settled before you bring that down. Have to go in.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, Dr. George wants to reward some folks that are giving with some candy, See's Candy, if you want it. So, but yeah, totally not an obligation too. If you want maybe a few less pounds of chocolate on your waistline, you can just give too. And remember, it's 2 for 1. So for every buck you give, we give another one. So I'm going to call out 3 numbers this morning: $5, $25, and $100. And if you could help out the See's Community fundraiser this year, raise your hand and hold it up, or throw up a reaction emoji, or you could use the chat feature. And you can pledge that dollar amount. You can even pledge each dollar amount for a total of $130 if you are so inclined. So that would be the total amount of giving. All right, everybody ready? This is our second week doing this, so you should be pros now. All right, I'm gonna call out the first number, $5. How many Rotarians are in for $5 to the Seas Community Fund? Let's see, I see Kurt Wise, I see Seth McGrath. Let's see, who else? I see Chris Broadstock, Carrie Anderson. Thank you so very much. You guys are awesome. Cool. All right, let's bump it up to the next bracket. $25. How many Rotarians are in for $25 this morning? I see Sal Kenichi, I see Ross Rowley, I see John Sapper, Keith Borges, Kurt Wise, Bob Judavine, Seth McGrath, Aaron Dunn, Walt Giacomini, Jeff Nelson. Holy smokes, Keith Borges. You guys are out of this world. Right on. Oh, and Herb, don't forget Herb. He's got his hand up too. Thank you so much. All right, last one, the big one, $100. Is any Rotarian in for $100 this year for the Seas Community Fund? I see Seth McGrath. I see Kurt Wise. Thank you so very much, gentlemen. I see Steve Garrison as well. Awesome, awesome. Whoa, goodness, I'm just floored by the giving. Thank you so very much, everybody. All right, round of applause. Thank you so very much. Outstanding. Okay.
Hey, Simon, send me those recordings so I can calculate that. Because Don, I'm sorry, Bob Judavine, aren't you going to invoice them?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, how about we'll give Bob a official list when the
Perfect.
month or something like that.
Yes, that would be great.
Last week's video's up on YouTube. There should have been a link sent out yesterday, which should have me calling out everybody's name similar to today.
Okay.
So
Can we also pass along Dr. Judala's information to everybody via email or something?
You bet. I will pass that info along. I believe Sylvia shot me an email with the proposal on that. Okay.
Hey, Simon.
Yes.
So I was kind of thinking about that storefront where we usually show up and put Seas Candy. Could we put any signage up there, like directing people and informing them like what the purpose of that was? It wasn't just a retail location. If they still want to support the cause, or if there's a way they can still buy Seas Candy to support other Seas causes.
I believe so. Dawn, you might have a little bit more insight on that location.
Yeah, so I can contact the property owner and just ask for permission to put a sign up. And my thought was to put a sign up and explain that we're not doing Seas Candy due to COVID, but direct them to the Seas Candy shop in the Discovery Shop at Henderson Center. I think that's called the Discovery Shop, isn't it, Dr. Judala, George?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay. So we can give the address and the name of the store and let them know that there's a Seas Candy store inside.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit of outreach. That was fun last year because you got to spread the message of why we were there.
Totally. So awesome. Cool. Well, let's do that. Hey, backpacks, another awesome program that we do, Backpacks for Kids. It's our partnership with Food for People, giving food to people with food insecurities, local youth, food to get them through the weekend. And so this week we have December 9th, we have Buster and Lori Garrison, as well as Dawn and Sue Finch. And December 16th, we have Debbie Scaife ×2 and Jeannie Wise. Awesome. And let's see, I'm going to pull down the screen share and see if there's any club member announcements, boasts, brags, guilty consciences, anything like that. I see Keith Borges with a hand up. Keith.
I assume this would be time for birthdays and anniversaries. It is my birthday today. So
Hey!
I will, contribute whatever I need to contribute to the foundation for that.
I think it's usually just $5, right?
Generally speaking, correct. Yeah. Happy to do that.
Okay, killer. So happy birthday, Keith.
Thank you.
Looks like you're working though still.
I am. It's another one of those early days, but that's good.
Good. Well, what a good a great way to start an early day with Fortuna Sunrise Rotary, right?
Indeed, indeed.
Cool. Thanks for joining us. Anybody else? How about, let's see here. John Sapper, you still around?
I am.
I hear through the grapevine, I don't have any pictures, but I hear through the grapevine there might have been a hunting trip. Is this true?
What kind of grapevine is that?
It's the low-hanging fruit grapevine.
Oh,
Find that spreads information, John.
oh, okay. Now that is correct.
What-
Actually, it was a trip to visit my daughter that had a spin-off of doing some bird hunting.
Oh, it's bird hunting, not snipe?
Snipe?
Yeah, no.
Nope.
What kind of birds?
Ducks.
Ducks. Did you bag some ducks?
There were a few of them that came back.
There were a few.
Followed me home.
I mean, how much is a few? 2, 3, 5, 7, 10,
You're getting close.
15?
Yeah, that actually, yeah, I think I know where you're going with the number here. So yeah, that's pretty close.
Okay, 15 is pretty close. How about $1 a bird? Is that?
I knew that's where you were going. No, that'll be fine.
Okay, $15 to John Sapper for that.
Yeah, it was actually quite a trip back here, I'll tell you. Left north of Coeur d'Alene about woke up early about 3 o'clock and jumped in the truck and started driving back. And the first 4 hours was in freezing fog, and you could only see about 200 feet. And with multiple accidents and 3 rolled vehicles, and that finally made it past the Columbia River and got back in town here about 6 o'clock that night, 6:30. So it was quite a drive back, but that first 4 hours, that was fun. I'll tell you, that was enjoyable.
That sounds fun. That sounds fun. I think we should tack on another 5 for that recount of the story of the drive back.
Well, I thought you were going to reduce the fine because of the adventures with the drive.
No, but I can increase it even another 5 if you want to keep talking.
Oh, no, 15's just great.
All right, awesome. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else? Last chance. All right, I'm not seeing anybody with their hand up, so let's keep going, shall we? All right, so being an art educator every week, kind of the theme of my year, or definitely the theme of my year has been art, sharing art. So we usually have an artist of the week. This week we're going to be looking at the work of Calvin Ma. And here's some pictures of him showing off some of his work and working in his studio. Pretty awesome stuff.
Looks like your screen switched, Simon.
Oh, is it my desktop instead?
Yeah.
It's the messy desktop. Let's see here. How about that? Is that good?
That's better.
Okay. So yeah, here's this awesome photo of the artist doing his thing, Calvin Ma, and we'll get deeper. All right. So sculptor Calvin Ma channels his experience of social anxiety into an imaginative ceramic sculptures that fuse human characteristics with birds. These avian elements act as suits of armor, protecting the person from the outside world, and they reflect Ma's personality in a fight or flight situations. Carefully articulated feathers cover the face of each sculpture, from the mask like a bird headdress to the arms and torso of this humanoid figure. And then we also see one that's kind of made out of wood and a cactus creation here. Ma was quoted on saying, "I've never really felt comfortable in my own skin in social settings. So I created these characters to help tell stories about it. Each piece is meant to act out a specific social anxiety related experience. And I try not to get too dark or serious with the work, but I really try to have fun with it." And goodness, his work is really fun. I love his use of textures and colors, and just the shapes of things too, how they're distorted yet cartoony and based on action figures. Really, really cool stuff. Let's go a little deeper. So we'll talk about a series called Home Bodies, which there are several examples of here. This San Francisco-based sculptor Calvin Ma's quirky little figures have quite their personality. They're meticulously constructed, toy-like characters are made out of a ceramic glaze, stain, twine, and resin, and draw upon pop culture references to blend human forms with transportation vehicles like you may have seen in Star Wars. Ma has used his houses as a metaphor, with walls and windows and chimneys forming the protective outer shell of each sculpture. And here we see like a little, what is it, a cruiser from Tatooine, if any Star Wars fans are out there. We've got like an R2-D2 and then really cool like boombox character sitting on top of it. Beautiful, beautiful work. All right. And look at that wood grain, huh? Ooh, ooh, nice way to capture that all with clay. And then we'll finish our final slide with Ask a Rotarian. And this morning I'm going to call on Fortuna Sunrise Rotarian and artist, Penny Frigeau. Penny, are you there? Maybe. I think she was.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Hello.
Sometimes finding that mute button is a challenge. So Penny, tell me a little bit, what do you think about this piece called Around and Around by Calvin Ma?
Well, you know, interesting story that you shared about this artist. I think in general, you know, it talks about the dichotomy between sometimes being an introvert and spending a lot of time in the studio alone with one's thoughts and one's work, but yet then you have to have that public side where you go out and have a show, and an artist often feels kind of really exposed. You know, it's kind of a tough thing, and he kind of says that through his art in the different examples here. This one, pretty interesting. I love his use of textures and, you know, representational art. You can tell what everything is. It's fun to look at and try to guess where his mind is. I don't know. Yeah, specifically. It's kind of those things you have to study a long time. There's a face coming out of the window out of, you know, is that his real self? I don't know. He talked about the exterior and maybe the masks we put up. Yeah, anyway, interesting.
That was very, very well done. I'd expect no less from
I don't know where you went.
What's that? Oh. Yeah. So
Simon, can we just call on Penny each week? She gives such a great dissertation.
she did outstanding. I know. Usually I find people based on what they said, but there wasn't much I could find you on. There was, you know what? I'll give you, there was one I don't know in there. So how about just a $5 fine? I'm letting you off the easiest anybody's been let off in this game. But yeah, that was outstanding.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so very much. And this particular piece, Around and Around, is actually exhibited at the Crocker Museum in Sacramento. If you ever get a chance, they have one of the largest ceramics galleries in California, if not in the nation. It is massive, thousands of pieces, and they've got one of his pieces there. It's exquisite. I mean, it's one of those showstopper pieces that you get sucked into if you're into art museums. All right.
President Simon.
Yes, sir.
How large are these figurines?
This particular one's probably, my guess would be about 1.5 feet. So not super huge. Yeah.
Thank you.
About 18 inches. Yeah. And if you start looking at the detail that's done in those 18 inches, there's a lot there, right? So really fine clay tools and just beautiful piece. You had this kind of like I don't know, it's like a helicopter, right? Is my guess. Yeah, there you go.
Something I noticed about this is all the characters, they're all very like animated and colorful, but they all don't have any eyes.
Yeah, those
just have blank eyes.
No pupils and stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of subtle things that like Penny said, it's layers. You got to observe things for a while, and the more you start looking at work, it starts, coming out, and It's amazing. Cool. Thank you so much. All right, we'll keep moving here. Let's go to a game I like to play. And right now we're doing a theme. What piece sold for the most amount of money? And I think we're going to call on Rotarian Ross. Ross, buddy. Looking at these modern art pieces from the Spanish artist Pablo Picasso, can you make a guess on which one of these art pieces fetched the highest dollar amount in auction? Was it 1, 2, or 3? 1 is Doraemon al Chat. Number 2 is Garçon à la Pipe. And number 3 is La Rive, I believe. And
let me see if I can lasso the Picasso. I am going to say that it's the least obvious one. I'm going to go with number 1.
Number 1, Doraemon al Chat. Incorrect, sir. That's a $5 fine. Yes, that did fetch $111 million at auction, but it is not the winner this morning. How about we pick on Herb Colby? You still there, buddy?
I certainly am.
What do you think? You got a 50-50 chance. It's not number
3.
Number 3, La Rive. And that is correct. $157 million. Give it up for Herb. No fine for you, buddy. Good job. Thank you both for playing. All right. Hey,
Hey, Simon?
Yes, sir.
I just realized that I'm in the Century Club, so I'll just go ahead and put that towards foundation.
Beautiful. Yes. So when you reach the Century Club, you have the opportunity to put it toward foundation or polio or some other giving area in Rotary, or you can also pass the fine on to another club member.
Oh, I could pass it on and have somebody else guess now.
We already told him the answer, but you could pass on your fine if you wanted to. But anyway, I just wanted to let club members know we've got some newer club members. Maybe they don't know how this works. So, and then how many folks we got in the Century Club, Ross? Undetermined amount. How about we get back to that? We can't hear you, bud. All right. Whoa, goodness. All right. So the weekly recognition. This week, I'm not going to do a full recognition, and I'm running out of time. We got to give our speakers some time, but I will do a slight recognition. Who do you think I'm going to feature this week? All right. Anybody here have arachnophobia? Who is this? What's going on? Can any Rotarian here tell us a little bit more about what's going on with this crazy spider picture here? Anybody look familiar? No?
Obviously one of my pets.
Must be one of your pets. I mean, so is this pet still alive, Heather?
No, unfortunately not. It was a one-day pet.
It was a one-day pet. Goodness. So did you take it back to the pet shop, or did it meet its demise like those cats we were talking about this morning? No comment. Well,
maybe it went with some of the cats.
Some of the cats. Okay. Well, this is, I mean, how did this happen? Did you really let the thing crawl on your face? Everybody wants to know.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not. Are you?
Definitely not. It is a filter, I believe.
Snapchat filter or something like that. So are you afraid of spiders? Yes or no? Yay or nay?
If it was that large, I definitely would be.
Okay. But like a spider crawling around in the house, no problem relocating it or putting it to an untimely.
Yeah, it wouldn't probably live very long.
Wow. So you stumped us. I didn't even know it was fake there. What do you think stumping us with the spider photo is worth to you?
How about $20 today?
$20, outstanding. Okay, cool. We'll take it. Thank you, Heather. Okay. Well, let's keep the show moving, huh? Let's pass it over to our program chair, Erin Dunn, to introduce this week's program.
Good morning. Thank you, President Simon. We have with us this morning Captain Shawn Morris. He's the new CHP Commander for our area, although not so new anymore, but he has been here since September. He started his career in the Marine Corps and joined the CHP group back in, I may have not all my dates right, but June 2010, and has been with the CHP since that time, serving in Castro Valley and San Francisco, and most recently Sacramento before joining us here on the North Coast. We're excited to have him here this morning. And I see in your honor, Captain Morris, that Bob Judavine is not driving while he's attending the meeting. So, you know, that's you have been a good influence already on this meeting and our club. So thank you. And I'm going to pass it off to Captain Morris.
Thank you very much, Erin. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. And thank you, President Rios, for the warm words. I think some of the information that you have, Erin. So actually, I've been with the department for 19 years, almost 20 years. So I started in 2001. No, that's quite all right. I think that time is when I started my my account with LinkedIn. So I think that's what the 2010 is. No, so I have close to 20 years with the department, but that is correct. I started my career in the United States Marine Corps. I did 8 years there down in Southern California, down in San Diego. And it's interesting. So the photo of the spider that I saw, I believe that was Heather. Is that what it was? Yeah. So funny story. So we were doing training in the Marines. So, you know, we're a bunch of rough and tough Marines. And we have our training out in the field. We have all this field training. And so we're doing maneuvers and we're in Camp Pendleton. It's probably like, I think it's July or August. And so right around that time, there's a lot of snakes, rattlesnakes and everything. And so we're lying in the large brush and we're lying down and we have this, what we called at the time, it was miles gear. So if you imagine, I don't know if anyone remembers laser tag, but there used to be these harnesses that you wear and they have these guns and you shoot these laser beams and it would go off and have all of these sounds and everything. So we're wearing all of this gear and we're lying in the brush and we're waiting and, you know, doing all these maneuvers. And all of a sudden, so one of the guys in our squad sees this rattlesnake, this baby rattlesnake. And obviously, if you're familiar with rattlesnakes, they can be pretty dangerous, especially the baby ones. And anyway, this guy jumps up and he screams snake. And so the entire squad, the entire platoon jumps in the air. We're screaming snake, we're running around. And then the other platoon comes by, sees us, and then picks us off from a distance. And then all of our gear starts going off and it's making all this noise. And so, yeah, so we gave up our position, we gave up our cover. And needless to say, let's just say we had extra attention that evening from our drill instructors. So yeah, pretty funny story. So yeah, that was quite a life learning lesson about self-discipline and not giving up your position and your cover. So anyway, funny story. But so yeah, started 19 years ago. After I got out of the academy and graduated from the academy, I went to the Bay Area where I worked there in Hayward. And so I did road patrol there for a couple of years. And then from there, I was selected and went to, we have an investigative services unit. So I did plainclothes auto theft investigations. So I did that for a number of years, got to see some very interesting situations and very interesting people, did that for a few years. And then promoted to sergeant. And then that was in 2010 or 2009 where I was in Castro Valley. So that's probably where that time frame or timeline comes in. So worked in Castro Valley as a graveyard sergeant for a number of years, promoted to lieutenant, went to San Francisco, worked there for a year. And then from San Francisco, I was selected by our commissioner's office to go to our academy where I oversaw tactical training for the state. For a couple of years, and then instructional services, our classroom instruction for all of our cadets and officers. And so I did that for probably about 4 years total. And then I was selected as the assistant to our chief for information management division, did that for a year in Sacramento. And then I was selected as commander here for the Humboldt area. So I got to tell you, very honored and just a great opportunity to be here to serve the community. Everyone has been tremendous, very welcoming since I've been here. I think I was telling Erin that a couple of weeks ago. We had an opportunity to meet with the assembly member, and it was great. It's been an awesome time here. Everybody's been really, really nice, and I have a great crew here. I have a great squad, and just having a really good time. So just enjoy being here. A couple of things I saw, I think part of what your, the motto of what, the Rotary Club, what your Rotary stands for, I think one of the things that stood out to me was mentoring youth and creating this environment where you can have this healthy and prosperous community. And I think that's what our department does. I think we try to do that. And I appreciate the things that your Rotary does. We have several different programs where we help out youth, and we do certain things for the community, like our Start Smart program, our Impact Team Driver every 15 minutes. And so we work really hard to build goodwill and to create healthy partnerships, just like you guys do. I think we strive to do that as well. I wanted to give you an opportunity to maybe ask me some questions. I know there's probably tons of questions that you may have, and this is a good chance you get to ask me some questions about some of the things that maybe we do, or maybe some situations that we've been in, and maybe I can help shed some light on some things, maybe provide a little bit of education on some matters, and maybe we'll go from there.
I have a question. Good thing that you brought up every 15 minutes. That's a phenomenal program. It's one of those, I remember my own reflection on something like that was watching the film Scared Straight, and that came out in 1979. I was a year out of high school, and it really preyed into my memory not to go to prison, and here's why. And the same thing I've learned, I've been involved in filming some of those every 15 minutes programs, and the parents and the children who are selected for that program to act out the parts, it really stays with them lifelong. And I applaud your efforts in doing that program.
Thank you for that. I think there are a number of different ways that we can, impact our youth with regard to, education and driving and different things like that, and what that does. And I think that is a very effective way to do it. We also have classroom instruction. We have a lot of our officers will actually go to the high schools and will do presentations. I actually, when I was an officer in Hayward, I used to go to I think these were called Silver Grad presentations. And so we would go to the high schools and we would talk to the youth, and we would show some videos and have some facilitation with regard to the effects of driving and different things of that nature. But every 15 minutes is a really good program. And I think that is just as effective. It's very visceral, right? You get to see what's going on, and it has such a huge impact.
Shawn, this is Greg Barkdale. I just had several questions I wanted to ask. Is there a current position on the self-driving cars? I'm also curious how many officers are in your department right now? And then finally, how the overlap with the Sheriff's Department works.
So self-driving cars, I think you said number of officers, and then Sheriff's Department overlap. Okay, so self-driving cars, the autonomous vehicle program, we have our enforcement planning division, which is at headquarters, and we have an entire division that is dedicated to working with state legislators, or we have, so I guess to simplify it, we have several departments within headquarters that they're working on that, right? So and that's anything from the autonomous vehicles, the cars that you see driving, to the trucks. And so we routinely have, engineers from those different disciplines that will come down to our academy, and we have our division of officers that will work with, we bring everyone together. So we'll have some lawmakers, we'll have engineers from the various companies, we'll have drivers, we'll have officers, and they'll come and we'll try to work out the best way to handle and move forward with autonomous vehicles. So there's legislation that comes from that, there's education, and then there's word that gets back to the engineers on what would impact drivers in our region in California. So I hope that kind of answers your question, but we're keenly aware of, the progression of that technology and how things are working. And so we are definitely on top of those things with that division, our enforcement planning division. I think your next question was the number of officers. So we definitely, and I think this is important to mention with the pandemic that we have right now. Our officers, knock on wood, are safe. We've had some isolated incidents around the state. However, up in this region, I think we've been very, very fortunate that we haven't had any outbreaks or anything like that. So my staff is available. A challenge is always recruitment and retention. So I think in this time, there's always, as we have people that are retiring and people that decide that they move on to go to different employment fields, that we're constantly looking for qualified individuals to fill our ranks. So sans that, we definitely have enough, manpower out there, personnel out there to handle our calls for service and to do the things that we need to do to keep the community safe. And I think your last question was about overlap with the Sheriff's Department. So I think one of the things that I've found in working in this region that is such a large and expansive amount of space, which is different from working in the metropolitan areas. We have a lot of, so you have, a ton of folks in a, sort of smaller space. And so we have a lot of officers there. Here, since the space is spread out, I think we rely greatly on the partnerships that we've built with the Sheriff's Department, the local police departments, the other public safety stakeholders. So we have excellent relationship with the Sheriff's Department and with the local police departments, and we work hand in hand with, backing each other up on calls and, training and different things of that nature. So I think we have an excellent working relationship with the Sheriff's Department, and I would imagine that Sheriff Hansel will probably say the same for us.
Through the years, I've noticed more and more highway patrol doing moving infractions within a city. In Eureka, I saw it mostly. Is that happening still quite a bit?
So a misnomer is that the highway patrol is specifically just, relegated to the freeway. We have jurisdiction throughout the entire state of California. So technically we can go in any city, we can go in any county, any jurisdiction. So, and that's actually a funny story. So I was on patrol and I was in the city of Hayward, and I see this driver doing, just something that they probably shouldn't have been doing. So I pulled the driver over, and we're in the city limits of Hayward, and I pulled the driver over, and he just really smug, arrogant attitude, just defiant, all of these things. And so, but very cooperative. I mean, he's still cooperative, but very smug in his responses to me. And so I'm a believer of, I always let people know what's going on, right? Because there's no surprises. So, during my contacts, I'll say, if I know that I'm going to issue them a citation, I'll say, okay, just sit tight. I'll be right back. I'm going to issue you a citation for whatever it is. And then that way the person is not alarmed when I come back to the car and I have a citation. So and he doesn't say a word. So I go back, I write the ticket, I come back. And so as I'm issuing him the ticket, he kind of folds his arms and he goes, "I'm not signing that ticket." And I go, "Oh, okay. Well, I got to let you know that by you not wanting to sign a ticket means that you're requesting to be taken forthwith to a magistrate, and I have to take you in cuffs and I have to take you to the judge." And then he sort of looks a bit perplexed and he says, "Well, wait a minute. The highway is over there." He's pointing over to the freeway. He goes, "The highway is over there. This is the city." And then, so I did this. I looked at him and I pointed to my shoulder pads. I said, "This is California Highway Patrol. That's every road in the city or in the state of California to include Hayward." And then his face, he just kind of looked down and he's like, and he signed the citation. I said, "Hey, all right, drive safely," So yeah, it's pretty funny, but I think that goes to your point. And that usually that is a misnomer. I mean, what we typically do is we have memorandums of understanding with the local police departments and the Sheriff's Department. And so typically with the Sheriff's Department, because it's county, we will share law enforcement responsibilities where we take the traffic enforcement side of it, and then the sheriff's department usually handles, you know, the crime-related, you know, like domestic violence calls, robbery, different things of that nature. But that doesn't mean that we can't assist them, or it just so happens that we actually, you know, initiate or we investigate those types of calls. And then with the police departments, that's strictly just their jurisdiction unless they request mutual aid or some sort. So
It's a great presence having CHP inside of the towns. Also, it's for me, it's a great deterrent. It's people slow down when they see the black and whites, and it really helps.
I agree. That is one of the primary functions for us is in view patrol. So we don't hide behind bushes. We don't, you know, sit underneath or, you know, hide behind billboards or anything like that. We're out in the open, and our philosophy, we believe that if, you know, the public sees our patrol cars out there, that it is a natural deterrent, you know, from people to want to speed and do those things. And quite frankly, it really does work. So yeah, we're out there. We try to be out there as often as possible.
Yeah, hey, Sean, I have a question. This is John Sapper. The Highway 101 corridor through Eureka is extremely dangerous. And I mean, with pedestrian fatalities and bicycle vehicle collisions and vehicle-to-vehicle collisions. And are there any conversations that are currently going on with really trying to say, okay, how do we address this thing, either through rerouting or some other way? But it seems like not a month goes by that we don't hear of another incident there.
Yeah. So John, thank you for those comments. I couldn't agree with you more. So one of the biggest things for me in coming here, and our officers know it, is, and this goes back to the, I believe it was Ross, that goes back to the comment about the in-view patrol. So I am keenly aware that is an important, you know, discussion point for the community here. And so our folks understand the importance of that safety corridor and making sure that we are out there for in-view patrol. If we see violations of folks, you know, exceeding the speed limit or, you know, driving recklessly or doing things that they shouldn't do, we are out there, we enforce or make those traffic stops, we take the appropriate enforcement action. I can tell you since I've been here on numerous occasions. So I happen to have the car that is not marked. It's well, I won't tell you what color it is. So, but it is an unmarked police vehicle. And when I'm in uniform and I'm out there, I make traffic stops all the time. And I typically like to do the education portion of it. If it is egregious enough, then, you know, I've issued citations. But I like to educate people, and I like to tell people, hey, this is extremely important. The speed limit is 50 through the corridor here, you know, between Eureka and Arcata. And then in the city of Eureka, obviously that is also, you know, considered 101. So we have the in-view patrol, and so we have our folks that are out there doing that. I've also worked with and in partnership with Caltrans, and we've had meetings with the city of Eureka because you also mentioned bicycle and pedestrian safety, and the city of Eureka has had a number of those. Unfortunately, lately, I have dealt with the commander. I think it's Captain Stevens in Eureka Police Department, and we have done joint press conferences, CHP, Eureka PD, of getting the word out to tell people, hey, we have bicyclists and pedestrians that go through there, and the importance of traffic safety for everyone involved, right? It's an education portion of it. So we've done that, and I know that they have a plan that's in place right now to create some islands or barriers within the city of Eureka to really try to impact those issues with the pedestrian and bicycle folks that are out there. So so to answer your question, yes, we are working with Caltrans, working with Eureka Police Department to you know, tackle those areas. There's enforcement portion of it, there's education, and so, you know, to make sure that everyone is safe and is aware.
Thank you. Ask one quick question. It can't help me. And we have a ranch above Bridgeville, and that 36, and I realize in the past, because of your manpower issues, whatnot, it's dangerous as hell out there. People passing on double lines and whatnot. Are you able to address that any more now, or are you still kind of short on manpower as far as?
No, so we have what we call a SAFE grant. And so the Humboldt Association of Governments has awarded the Highway Patrol a grant so that we can put extra officers out there. So as a matter of fact, I just sat down with my supervisor, one of my sergeants, and my public information officer, and we've devised a plan through the rest of this year and then throughout 2021, where we can have extra patrols, and not just on Highway 36, but also on Highway 96. And I think there's one other highway that's out there. So I know that those areas are fairly remote, especially 96, but I know for 36, we have additional patrols out there. And I can assure you through the rest of this year, we have additional patrols, multiple officers that will be out there. So we're aware of that as well. I'm glad that you brought that up, Ken. Thank you. That was one of the things that I had written down to talk about. But yes, and you know, we have some, like I said, some challenges with regard to, you know, recruitment and retention, and I know that's everywhere for, you know, law enforcement, not just for us, but that's always a constant challenge. But yes, we have extra patrols that will be out there.
Great, thank you. Much needed out there.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah, any more questions for Captain Shawn Morris? All right. Thank you so very much for coming and talking with us this morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I just want to say that I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. I hope everyone is safe, you know, taking the necessary precautions, you know, and we'll have a great, safe and wonderful holiday. So thank you so much for the invite, and I hope I'll have an opportunity to come back again.
Super. Yes. Anytime. You're always welcome. All right. Well, before we part, we typically do a little drawing. So shall we keep up with the time-honored tradition that goes back centuries? Is it centuries?
Well, into the last century at least.
Yeah, there we go.
$75.
75 big ones. And the name I'm going to draw this morning is, I restocked the kitty. I put more names back in the box there. Let's see. Who do we got this morning? So you could be drawn again if you, oh, Dr. Greg Bartle. It's your lucky day, possibly. Who knows? All right. There's just a couple balls in here. One of them could be $75. And there's some digging going on. Something's got my hand. No, I'm joking. That was a dad joke and a half. Oh, goodness. This is a popular ball this year. Craft Talk or $25 fine. You can barely see it here. It keeps, there we go. What do you think? You want
How many Craft Talks can everybody tolerate?
I mean, you can pick a certain piece. I don't know what your last craft talk was. I don't know. Was it about your? I can't even remember. Was it about your profession or your family?
I guess I get a chance to spread some more medical knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be riveting to maybe hear about some of your work, like maybe interesting cases of obviously anonymous or something like that, fun stuff like that. Or you could pay $25 in it.
Pulling pinto beans out of small children's noses.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, we try and get those before they sprout.
Before they sprout.
The right environment.
It's moist.
Okay. Well, I'll do a Craft Talk sometime in the next 12 months.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, just keep in touch with me when you're feeling the fever for a Craft Talk. Let me know. Okay, awesome. Anything else before we part this morning, everybody? All right, and yes, fundraising committee folks, you should have received an email from me last night, so please respond back. A couple of you already have. I really appreciate you staying in the loop there. And yeah, let's part, shall we? Everybody have a marvelous Rotary Day, and we'll see you again next Wednesday. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye, Simon.
See you, everybody.
Bye, everybody.